want to take this opportunity to thank you for giving up your evening to come out and to help us to recognize some very special people in our community who have donated to our schools and have supported our schools for many years. Many of them have donated their time and their talents and their resources. They've donated furniture, equipment, they've donated things for a gymnasium, for the band. They've donated for the uniforms that you're wearing tonight and perhaps even for the instruments that you're playing this evening. So I just wanted to thank you all for coming out and saying to the choir, standing quietly back there. Just want to thank you for coming and helping us, the Board of Education and the administrators and all the teachers for helping us to say thank you. You know, it's Thanksgiving time, and sometimes we forget to think about all of the wonderful things that have happened to us, not through our own doing, but through the charity and generosity of others. So thank you very much for joining me in this little endeavor, and I hope you enjoy the evening. We will. I know we will. We always do. So thank you very much, and know that we truly appreciate you being here and spending some time with us. So thank you very much to the band, the jazz band, the chorus, to Mrs. Shalou and Ms. Gilbert, and all of the parents who have been so supportive in helping us to set things up, to the administrators, and to all of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it.
Just Tanner, slide down. And we'll double up, fellas.
Ready? I'll give you a measure. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
served in the past. We especially want to recognize our veterans who are in the room. Some of you participated in our Veterans Day celebrations and recognitions earlier this month. But also, we certainly want to thank everyone who has worked tirelessly to make this country what it is. And we certainly are enjoying the benefits of their time, their service, their efforts, and in some cases, their lives. And so, this being Thanksgiving, I feel that it's an appropriate time for us to say thanks. I've expressed my thank you to the music program and Mrs. McCabe and her students who prepared the refreshments for us this evening. On a broader scale, we want to thank all of you who have supported our schools. You are the reason that we are as proud as we are of everything that we have accomplished. So no matter what rank, what time you gave, or in what capacity, please know that we truly appreciate everything that you've done for us in the past, and that you continue to do now, and that you will do in the future. So thank you very much. Know that we appreciate everything that you've done, and I'm so glad that you came out this evening. I think this is the party that starts Thanksgiving. But on that note, Ms. Jalou will have our band play the national anthem. Before they leave, our board chair, Mr. Kirby Duguid, would like to say a few words.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see so many people here tonight. I'm finishing up my 9th or 10th year on the board, and I can say beyond a doubt that this is the best board meeting I've ever been to. It's great to see so many people here. It's great to know that we have as much support as we have. Of course, you feel it every day, and the board was very excited when Dr. Mahoney announced that she had prepared this recognition opportunity. And we're glad to share with you tonight. Hope you have a good time, and don't forget all these great refreshments.
While the band is transitioning, please feel free to come on in, grab some snacks, and go back on the buses.
Chorus needs to change. Martin, you're not in chorus, why don't you go back up to the buses? Chorus needs to change. Chorus needs to change.
Eileen Gilbert. You guess. Okay, good evening again, everyone. For those of you who are standing, please grab a seat and we'll get going with our recognition ceremony. Lisa? I would like to ask Ms. Shalou and Brienne, Mr. Pelling, Mr. McNally, and Mrs. Barbara Granby to join me up here. And we have so many people to recognize this evening that I actually had to put the awards into categories. Otherwise, we will be here until tomorrow, and I'm sure you have some things to do. This is an important week for just about everyone. So the first group of individuals that we would like to recognize this evening are those persons who have been tremendously supportive of our music program here in the East Granby Public Schools. I get the chills every time I hear the band play or hear the chorus sing, and it is just very heartwarming to see the talent that we've been able to nurture and the way that we have used your contributions to support the music program. And so I'm going to call and ask you to join us up here, and this will be, pretend you're at a wedding, this is the receiving line. These are the individuals who are associated with our band program who would just want to say a very personal thank you this evening. And Mr. Huguet will be presenting a certificate to the individuals who I'm about to call. So I would begin with Mr. and Mrs. Douglas. Mrs. Susan Chester, and Mrs. Kim Goodrow. Now in your programs, there are very short descriptions of the specific contributions of each of these individuals. So I will not be reading through those sections this evening, but you can certainly read those on your own. Also calling Mr. Kevin Landolina. And Mr. Jim Martocchio. Mrs. Susan Monica and Shamoy McDougall.
Sue's on the bus with the children.
Always in service.
Sue's on the bus taking care of the kids.
We'll be sure that she gets to, maybe she'll be back by the time we get to the tour groups. And Mrs. Susan Nero. And the next group of recipients are individuals that have recognized our needs on an ongoing basis throughout the school day in all of our schools. I'm referring to the members, past, present, executive board members of the PTO. And I will begin with Mrs. Carly Butler. Mrs. Burke and Mrs. Eulinger and Mrs. Karen Gogel to say hello to our parents. Mrs. Karen Cushane. And I know the PTO members can tell you this, and the principals can tell you this. They have donated not just their time and their personal resources, but thousands of dollars to East Granby Public Schools, as have the band parents. I didn't want to begin to put dollar amounts out there lest I start a competition, which again may not be a bad thing. But certainly the dollars are just too much to count. We're just so absolutely grateful. Mrs. Doreen Jasius. Mrs. Jennifer Kowaleski. Marnie Reardon. Mrs. Kim Vicious. Mr. and Mrs. Darrell Russell. Mrs. Jessica Egan. Mrs. Kristen Strzezdowski. And Mrs. Alicia Van Neel. You see them, please do express our gratitude, and of course we will be sending them a very special message. For those individuals who have been supporting our athletic program, whether through the Booster Club or being responsible for one of the leagues, I would like to ask again all the principals to come back here, because it is because of these individuals that we have students who are so talented and use their athletic prowess to help East Granby And the East Granby Public Schools make the semifinals and the quarterfinals and really put East Granby on the map. I'd also like to call Mr. Bob Paskowitz to join us up here. I think he knows every single athlete in the school district. Thank you. And so we will begin with Mr. Joe Arsenault. Mr. Arsenault is not here, but we're also recognizing Mr. Arsenault for all of his help. I don't know if you know, over the years, he's been very helpful preparing those Friday folders that have come home to you. So we thank him for that. Mr. Joe Dipple. He's probably out fundraising for the baseball team as we speak. He's one of our wonderful volunteers there. Mr. Jeff Fournier. Mr. Michael Godlers. Mr. Steve Holt. Mr. Michael Chris.
He's selling the pies now, and I told him if there are any pies left over, to bring them down here, we'll be able to sell them. And that's for the fundraiser for the senior, the senior trip. Yeah.
Project graduation.
Project graduation, okay, come on. Yeah, so that's where he is.
Okay. As you can see, many of our volunteers serve in many different capacities, and that is one of the strengths and the beauty of this particular community, that people never miss an opportunity to reach out and assist. Mr. Robert Kulik. Bob Kulik. If you've been to the Soccer Under the Lights, or if you bought some food from the Snack Shack, please do thank Mr. Kulik. He spearheaded both of those efforts, and we're truly grateful. Mr. Robert Nero. And Mr. Lance Strzygalski. This next group of individuals, I can't say enough about them. They have helped us to prepare our students with some authentic learning experiences. They have been very generous to us, been very supportive of our initiatives to increase and improve our student performance, but also to expand our curriculum so that it is one that is going to prepare our students to take their rightful place once they leave East Granby High School. I am referring to a group of manufacturers here in the East Granby community who have joined forces with us to put together the state's, and I mean Connecticut's, very first associate's degree program in advanced manufacturing technologies. Students complete one additional year after their 4 years at East Granby High School and earn this associate's degree. Our manufacturers will provide internships for them, jobs for them if the students do very well. These students can earn this associate's degree without you having to put your hand in your pocket. So I really am very grateful to this particular group. I will name the individuals from the various manufacturing companies who are currently also serving on our advisory board.
and I'm going to name them alphabetically. Mr. Peter Burke from Burke Precision. Lady Sherry will accept his award. Thank you, Sherry. Mr. Dennis Chalk. Mr. Chalk was with Rockvestas Supernet Cable Corporation, and now Rockvestas has formed a new division called Marmon Engineered Wire and Cable Group. And I recently had an opportunity to tour that facility over on Cripes Road. It's very impressive. Mr. Cliff Lawton from CBS Manufacturing. Mrs. Bonnie McCarthy from Walgreens Distribution Center. Mr. Martin Seifert from Newfern. And also Mr. Colin McAvoy from Galasso Materials. I now want Stella? Okay. I now want to give very, very special recognition to these next three individuals. Mr. Gary Zweifel, Mr. Frank Gallouni, and Dr. Karen Wasina Birch. If you would all three come to the front here. Mr. Zweifel is at Delta Industries, in the personnel division of Delta Industries. And I remember Stella and I and Missy going over to Delta Industries and having a meeting, sitting down with Mr. Zweifel and his boss, and talking about this program. And they said, well, we're looking for workers. We really are looking for workers. And understanding, of course, that we can't just pull students out of our classrooms and put them into Delta Industries. They need to be trained. We went to Asnunta Community College and met with Mr. Frank Gallouni, who is standing here. Frank Gallouni is director of the manufacturing division at Asnunta Community College. And I have to tell you, I don't know anybody who works as hard as he does to make this program work. It is a very vibrant program.
I have to go and sell pie, so I don't have much time. I don't have a job tonight.
Everybody has another job tonight. And Dr. Karen Wasina Birch, she is the individual who was instrumental in getting us the memorandum of agreement that really solidified this partnership between the East Granby Public Schools, Asnunta Community College, and our East Granby manufacturers. So if you would join me in giving them a standing ovation. I'd also like to thank Stella Ross, who is our Director of Curriculum, and Missy Bavaro and Dave Pelling. The four of us have gone up to Asnunta or wherever we need to go to hold a meeting to get this going, and we're not going to stop until we got it done. And so this is the team that has put East Granby on the map as being the first to start this program, and we're just really, really grateful and thrilled and happy that you have helped us take advantage of this opportunity for our students. So thank you very much. Then we have a group of individuals who have gone above and beyond being described as being generous. They have just absolutely given of their time, of their personal resources. They have reached out and solicited on behalf of the students, and really have given more to us than we could ever imagine. We have a number of individuals in this group. Mr. Phil Borgia, I don't think I saw Phil come in, but Mr. Borgia is also in the personnel division at Rock Vestos Superintendent Cable Corp. And each year, Rock Vestos, at least for the past 10 years or so, has donated to the East Granby Public Schools. I won't say how much because I don't want to start a competition, but it is a lot more than I can count on my 2 hands 4 times. But Mr. Borgia has been very generous. Also, Mrs. Patricia Bauer. Mrs. Bauer with the East Granby Women's Club has also been very generous to us, and we want to thank her and the Women's Club for their generosity. Mr. Doug Comstock, he, I have to tell you, is the person who donated the AED devices that are in our schools. And talk about being a lifesaver. Several years ago, we actually had to use one of those on one of our community members. And thank goodness we were trained in how to use it. That person is still alive today. So I want to thank him. Mr. Chuck Dempsey. Many of you know Chuck Dempsey. Chuck has donated so much to the East Granby Public Schools. He and his entire family have been very generous. They've donated their time and resources to the athletic program and to other causes in our school. Mr. Joe Doring. Of the Rotary Club helps us to recognize our students in the schools, and we have, thank you. We have students who benefit from the recognition of the Rotary Club. Mrs. Renee Cole. Also from the Women's Club of East Granby. From the Lions Club, Mr. David Lawton. And also another significant contributor to our schools, Galasso Materials. Those of you who've been with the baseball team know that they've been generous enough to help us to prepare the fields occasionally in the spring when we get going, help us to get those divots out of the ground. We appreciate that, but also if you've been to graduation, you know that Galasso Materials has donated thousands and thousands of dollars. I want to say 10 times over my 2 hands. Giving 4-year scholarships and renewable scholarships to many of our students graduating from the East Granby Public Schools. So we thank you very much for that. This next individual is really a fixture in the East Granby Public Schools, Mr. Mark Ornstein. Where are you? Mark Ornstein is responsible for setting up our technology in the schools. You know, we started out very slow in terms of getting the technology that we needed in the district. You know, a small district with few resources. We reached out, we found someone who was extremely talented and still is very talented, very gifted in the technology area. And Mark knew how to connect and reconnect and reconfigure everything to make it work for us. And he's kept us going all of these years. He's retired a few times, but you know, we grow on people, so it's been very hard for him to walk away. And so he comes back to visit, and we find reasons to bring him back here as well. We can't thank Mark enough for all of his work. You know, some of us have said that our system has been Markanized because he's had to reconfigure things to make us productive. So Mark, we want to thank you publicly this evening. I know Mrs. Gogel, would you come on up here? I know Mrs. Gogel has something very special to say about this next person. Is Mr. Michael Patterson.
He is not here tonight, but he is a very special individual who is new in the community and was trying to think of a way that he could support the school. And he has a love of books and travels around the world and also to many book fairs in the area. And he has contributed and purchased hundreds of books in the area for our Spanish department, for our French, music, arts, and our preschool. And we actually have so many beautiful books that we have a student that is categorizing them so that the teachers can actually come down and choose what they would like. He has brought materials back from Spain so that they're authentic for our students in the Spanish department. So we really appreciate his efforts and the way he found that he could contribute to the school system.
Like to also recognize Reverend Denise Terry and also Andy Wicks, both of whom are with her. Both of these individuals have also contributed to the East Granby community, not just to our students, and so we want to thank them for their contributions and for their support. Okay, the next category is public safety. In recent times, everyone has grown very concerned about the safety of our community, and in particular the safety of our children in the schools. And so this evening, we just want to recognize a couple of people who have really helped us, and also some of these individuals have gone beyond the borders of East Granby to look out for the safety of our country. I would begin with Assistant Chief Wayne Bednes. Many of you may know him. Whenever the fire trucks come out, he's usually there. We want to thank him for his service and for the time that he spends with us when we have our planning meetings for our evacuation drills, as well as when we do conduct the drills, he's there as well to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to keep our children safe. So the next time you see him, please extend gratitude to him. And many of you, including the little ones, are familiar with this next person. I'm talking about Trooper Dale Smith. Would you come forward? Thank you very much. Trooper Dale Smith is in our schools every single day. You see him in the mornings, he's walking through the schools throughout the day, he's checking to make sure everything is the way that it should be. He makes sure that we're doing the things that we should be doing, that we are following our protocols, and he is there along with the other officers from the East Granby Public Safety Personnel Group. So we want to thank him for his leadership in the effort to keep us all very safe. And the next two individuals I would invite to come forward, Mrs. Susan Samuel and Mr. Tom Moran. maybe 2 years ago actually, Mr. Moran and a group, a very small group of our veterans came to one of our Board of Education meetings and expressed their desire to help us to celebrate and to properly recognize our veterans from the town of East Granby. And we started last year, and the veterans that Mr. Moran were able to assemble came into the schools and visited with the children, shared their stories, shared their pictures, and spent valuable time with us in all of the schools with the children, talking about their service and everything that they've given. And then this year, it has expanded. And this year we had 27 veterans in our schools for Veterans Day. They visited classrooms, we honored them, recognized them in an assembly program, and they had lunch that was prepared by our students under the leadership of Mrs. McCabe. And they did presentations in classrooms, they shared their pictures and their stories, and it was a really awesome day, very touching for everyone who was involved. And so we want to thank you for sharing that part of your lives with us. And we certainly appreciate that, and we thank you for your service, not just to the school in East Granby, but to the world. Thank you. And now the livelihood of the community, the arts. We have to celebrate the arts. I want to recognize a group of individuals who have been very active and supportive of our drama and arts program here in East Granby in the public schools. I want to recognize Mrs. Mary Comstock, Mr. John Farmer, Mrs. Renee Klusnick, and Mrs. Laura McCabe for the Creative Arts Council and all of her work. A very special thank you to her. You know, Laura never says no when we ask her to help us out by preparing refreshments for any of our gatherings, and so we're extremely grateful to her, and want to thank her and her students for preparing these refreshments for us this evening. We truly appreciate that. I just want to say that, you know, this is the very first time that we are holding a recognition ceremony like this, and I don't know how you feel, but I feel very good. It's always nice to have an opportunity to say thank you to those who have helped in any way to make our lives that much better than it actually would have been without your support. And so we thank you very much, and I'll Mr. Hugitt say a few more words.
Thank you, Dr. McCabe. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd just like to thank all of the folks that were recognized here this evening, and thank all of their supporters who came out to share this time with them. It was a great evening, and as I indicated at the very beginning, this is by far the best Board of Education meeting I've ever been to. And I'm grateful, the board is grateful for all of your support. We don't say it enough, but we feel it every day, and we truly appreciate it. And I look forward to more of these events in the future. So thank you very much, folks.
Thank you, and please do take a program with you if you have not already done so. This is, I think, a nice event to memorialize. And for those of you who know the individuals who are not here this evening, if you could grab a program for them and get it to them so that they will have something to remember this evening as well. Please do feel free to mingle and grab some more refreshments. And the Board of Education is going to try to convene a meeting now. So please do feel free to stay. We would love to have you join us for the Board of Education meeting.